Good morning, everybody. So last couple trips out, the boat motor's been running pretty bad, and decided I would really dig into it and see what was going on. Anyways, long story short, here's the motor. This is the right side bank here, and when I did compression check I had 0, and I finally got 30 here, so I decided I'd pull the head gasket. But I found it wasn't a head gasket. These pistons are shot. That's not supposed to do that. Yeah, I'm not a motor guy, but we know better than that. So anyways, I'm not gonna spend another $1 on this motor, and show you what I did here. Different motor. So this one's 10 years newer, got good compression, and I'm going to do a motor swap on it, and we'll kind of go from there. So more. Okay, I'm back. Oh, let me back up just a little bit here. I got a mess going. Anyways, there's the motor. I've got everything unhooked except for the steering linkages, which and the 4 bolts holding it to the boat. Got my engine stand here that we borrowed, and I'm going to unbolt it, chain it on, pick it up, slide it off. That should be everything holding that one on. Now, I've been at this about an hour. One thing is the disassembly process of anything generally goes really fast. So we'll get this off of here, and then it's going to be all about putting the new one on. And hopefully it goes on pretty easy. I've got to see where these bolt holes line up here, see how that's going to look for me. Hopefully I don't have to refill the transom and then re-drill it, but if I do, I do. We'll let you know more later when I get the motor off. Okay, well, motor's off. I'm probably pretty sure and afraid of that's going to be the easy part. Anyways, there it sits. I have to get that thing up off the grass here in a little bit. Jack stand don't roll with the flip and the gravel on this road. It's kind of want to sink into this road, actually. So anyways, been at it about an hour and a half, hour and 45 minutes, I guess. Yeah, gonna back the truck up in the driveway, or actually right here as close as I can get to the boat, and then that way I don't have to jack stand it too far, and then I'll lift the other one out and kind of go from there. And hopefully I can get it on, get it stabbed. Bolt hole pattern's the same, so I can put it in exactly the same position it was in. I may go ahead and do that, and then if I want to do the jack plate later, I'll do the jack plate. I think right now it's just a matter of getting it back going, and I'll look at where the relationship is on the motor to the boat and kind of feel that out. If it looks like it's right, I'm gonna go with it. All right, so if you're working with somebody and you got to do some rigging, and the word creative comes up, probably not gonna want the safety guy around. I don't have anything that really wants to snap into these little lifting points on this motor, so I've got my tow strap, tied the old knot in it, and I'm gonna lift it up and see what I can get. At that point, maybe I can do a basket with a chain, kind of do a switch off or something a little safer, or we just keep going with this and see how that works out. Now we're recording. Okay, one step closer. Put the steering linkages in, and what I did was, while I had all that out, I extended it out as far as it would go, and I lubed it. I've got some of this delayed viscosity penetrating grease. It's pretty good stuff. Kind of helps everything go back together a little bit better, you know. A little lubrication go a long way, and it's just the right idea, honestly, to go ahead and to do all that way whenever you're putting all this back together, that it's gonna work smoothly and work the way it should. So anyway, back to the rigging. I went ahead and rigged it up with the tow strap, which worked fine. But when I got over here to the boat, I had to put the ratchet strap on here to kind of pull it a little bit more on center. It's not really holding a lot of the weight. It's just more or less just kind of tweaking it up. I'm not too far away from mounting this motor. I'm going to go ahead and get it mounted, and then I'm going to start in on the electrical, and hopefully these linkages look to be the right ones. I'm going to go ahead and continue to use my original shifter, even though it's not in the greatest shape. But this could be quick, fast, and easy for the moment. to get this thing up and running, and then I'll kind of see from there what I do need to change and stuff. But yeah, let me go ahead and get this thing mounted and get back with you. All right, project slowed way down. Show you where I'm at. I've got the steering hooked up. It seems to be doing just fine. I fed the power lines in, power wires, and looks like I'm gonna need 5/16/18 bolt right there with a washer for these grounds. I'm fixing to hook my hot wire to here, and then I'm gonna get back on the battery and see if I can get the tilt trim to work, because I need to tilt this thing out to kind of match the back of the boat so I can go ahead and bolt it up. I haven't been doing a lot of filming. It's just such a long process. I think the video it's 11:46. I've been on here for I think I come out about 9, so let's just say 3 hours, and about to have the motor back on it. But then I've got all the electrical stuff to do, and I think that's going to be the most tedious. But looks like I might get away with reusing the shifter, though. I think I already mentioned that, but that would be a huge plus. Huge. So okay, so I'm getting pretty tired. I'm fixing to go jump in the swim pool, show you what progress I've got. So it's mounted, it's bolted up, everything's good, fat and happy on that part. I've still got to do some electrical work. That's where the primarily everything that's left is electrical, and the shift linkages are laying right here, and I've got my 2 original electricals from the boat itself, and then I've got the wiring harness from the new motor. So I need to splice back the wires, identify what's what, and then try to match it up to what I've got on my boat, and then I should be good to try to start it. We'll find out. But like I said, I gotta get a break. It's hot out here. Okay, everybody, trying out this new Hero 13. Bought it yesterday. Kind of splurged. Wasn't as expensive as I thought it would be. And I also got a set of the DJI mini mics. I've got one on. I'm going to try that thing out and see how it works. Not sure yet. It's day 2 on the motor. Tired. I overdid it yesterday. But we're close down to the electrical and the hookups. So gonna be really slow now. See what I can do to get this thing powered up and get it to act right. Probably have to run to town. Don't think I have any of the little baby Carter keys that I need, so probably have to go get those. Neighborhood dogs are bawling this morning. Always makes it fun and interesting. Like, we have dogs, but when you come out here, and you would hope for some peace and quiet, because it's a pretty morning. It is not peaceful and quiet. Neither of two, matter of fact. And you might see I've got my big hat on. I ended up getting pretty sunburned yesterday, so we're going to try to protect the old head this morning. Okay, so I've got the wire strip back now. We're going to take a look at them together. So here's my new bundle. I'm looking at the color codes to see what all I've got. And here's the old bundle. And I've got a lot of similarities in here. And then here's the trim unit from the boat. These two are from the boat originally, from the original controllers, and I've also got similarities there. What I'm not matching up at the moment are some of these sending wires. Those are going to go to my gauges up on the dash, and those haven't worked in a hot minute, so I'm not too awful worried about that at the moment. I would like to resurrect some of this stuff. That would be great, but right now I'm just going to put it together real simply and see just what happens. If I can get the motor to come to life and move as far as the trim and all the simple things, that's going to be the box I want to check next. Okay, everybody, I know this looks like a hot mess, and it is. I'm an electrician by trade, industrial, not residential. But what I've got here, like I said, I matched up all my wire numbers, or excuse me, wire colors. And I just wanted to see what happened. And so what we've got right now is a motor that will tilt. And let's go check the ignition of this thing here. Okay, so that circuit's not working from here. So that's not necessarily great. Okay, fix that, sure. And check this out. So we're getting closer. Way closer. All right, everybody, just got back from O'Reilly's. They had everything I needed. So we've got, these are hitch and hairpin assortment. I call them Carter keys, but I'm probably wrong. Anyways, I've got to do a little bit more. I've already test fired it, and I've got to clean up these connections and get this all put away nicely, rerun some of these wires. I'll cut back in here in a little bit because I'm going to put it on the muffs and then see if the linkages and everything are where they should be. And all right, YouTube, let's check this out. I've been working on this thing all day and almost half of yesterday, so here we go. Let me tell you what, I am happy. It was a long weekend, worked almost half the day Saturday on it, and it is almost 1 o'clock Sunday. Now, today hadn't been as bad. Yesterday was more physical than mental, today more mental. I'm pretty wore out, but man, I'm ready to go on a dang boat ride now. Let's take a look at my boat. I hadn't really had a chance to do a whole lot of looking at it in the previous videos because I'm always fishing. So anyways, we got the 175 on there now. This motor's clean. I like it. This thing is nice. The back deck open, new fuel filters in there, all the wiring, which is somewhat of a nightmare. This thing always wants to fall off, so whatever. I redid the interior. This was all carpeted, and I used a paint called Topside, and I put play sand in it, made it rough, and it's got grip. This stuff's coming out. I plan on taking that out and then doing the carpet, and I got some TLC to do with the wiring there. This is some leftover bits and pieces from the motor that I didn't use because I was able to reuse my controls, and the new Ultrex trolling motor, which is awesome. So now I'm thinking these windshields are probably going to come off. Pretty sure they are, because I'm going to probably mount my Humminbird over here. I think I got to order a mount for it. So see what you think. Probably mount it right here on this corner, somewhere in this flat spot, and then I'm going to have an arm that will come up and go over, and I can maneuver this thing kind of wherever I want. But then when I turn around and go fishing, I want to be able to see it. So it may actually end up more where those controls are, right here, and then that way it can swing around and I can see it, and swing around where I can see it. Yeah, it may do that. Anyways, I gotta order the mount. They're not cheap. I want to say the thing, one's like 80 bucks and the others go up to like 200. But I didn't do some measuring and kind of look at what I've got and, you know, kind of go from there. But anyways, super happy. Shout out to Terminal Tech, or Hookers Terminal Tackle. I like these backstabber hooks a lot. Catch a lot of fish with those. If you haven't checked them out, check them out. They're on the web. It's good stuff and they're cheap. All right, everybody, we're out here. I've got the motor going. Can't lie, I was a little nervous about it. Make sure everything's all right. One thing I got to do is I got to adjust the throttle. I have no throttle until the very end, and I have all the throttle. So yeah, we're gonna do that. Anyways, we'll go for a ride real quick. stop to go any faster. Hey everybody. So real quick, I kind of felt like at the end of this last video it just abruptly stopped, and I was going to just do a little bit of a wrap up and put this on the tail end of it, just kind of let everybody know where it's at as far as the boat and the engine and everything. So number one, the linkage was bad out of adjustment. Done some research on it, found out that the 1989 controller has different geometry than the 1998 controller, but should be able to, according to the internet, should be able to take the slack out of the linkage. I did that yesterday. It seems to be more responsive, but I wasn't running it. And then I want to bring the idle up. It seemed like the idle was a little low in the water. I felt like on the road when I was running it, it was idling kind of fast, but apparently not. So get that done and then get back out. The motor starts, runs great. It's got plenty of power, all that. It's got a little bit of vibration, I noticed, so I think the prop may need to be replaced as well. It looks like it's been kind of reshaped a little bit. It was a used prop anyways. And then that point, I'm gonna get the fish finder mount. We'll be here Friday. Get the fish finder mounted. It's supposed to rain all weekend, so I don't know if I'll have time or weather good enough to do it. Get that stuff mounted, get that integrated. Whether the windshields come off at that time or not, I don't know. They may. And then I'm also thinking about getting a bimini top for it, so that way when we're in the sun, which will be here soon, that we're not just baking, and try to protect ourselves a little bit from just massive sunburns and skin cancer and all the fun things that come along with that. But anyways, all in all, it was great. I've got the month of June. I probably won't be out the entire month as far as off the water. What I mean by that is this is fun, but I'll probably put the boat on the water and go run it and test it out, and I might fish. I mean, it's hard not to when you're out there. You just get a pole in your hand and get to going, but I know the fishing's going to be extremely slow during this time, but it won't be long and it'll be right back on fire again.